We've got Mr. Mike McDaniel from Inside the ACC, who does a fantastic job of keeping us up to date on ACC sports across the board, but especially what we care about here with college football. So Mike joins me on a regular basis to talk ACC football. So, Mike, tonight we focus on those beloved Virginia Tech Hokies, who really showed up in division play and winning the division, getting to the ACC championship game with a 6-2 conference record. Justin Fuente doing a phenomenal job, and this really being his first full recruiting cycle. How does it look for the Hokies right now, Mike?
Yeah, it's going to be a heck of a class for Justin Fuente, and for the Hokies staff thus far, they've done a great job going out and recruiting the guys they've gotten thus far. I think the one thing to watch for with Virginia Tech here moving forward is a couple of guys they have yet to commit. Obviously, the guy they just got that's the biggest name on the list is safety Devin Hunter. He's one of the top safeties in the class of 2017, one of the best safeties in the state of Virginia. He's rated either 1 or 2 in the state as far as prospects are concerned. They got his commitment last Friday night over Florida, Alabama, and a host of others. He's obviously going to highlight the class, but there are a couple guys on the list here for the Hokies. There are going to be names to watch out for here in the coming seasons, and Taj Capehart is one that could make an immediate impact for the Hokies depending on where they stick him. The coaching staff has discussed playing him at receiver. He's a 4-star guy who can really step in right away and make an impact. Quarterback, of course, big question. Hendon Hooker's a guy that's coming in as a freshman, could make a significant impact early on if he's going to beat out Josh Jackson, who's going to be entering his redshirt freshman season. Even if Hooker does not make the starting leap in his first year with the Hokies, he's going to be a guy that can step in and provide them depth right away and perhaps even redshirt. Big 6'5", 6'6" body. He's real skinny right now, only about 200 pounds. A guy who, if he can put on weight, will look more in the mold of a Gerard Evans. So there are a few guys right there that definitely highlight the class for the Hokies, and that's not to say that the Hokies got a couple guys remaining here that they're looking to hopefully reel in the coming days. Taiwan Garbut's a 4-star defensive end out of Fredericksburg, Virginia. A guy who the Hokies believe can make an impact right away on the defensive side of the football, especially defensive end, where the team has lost some of their depth from last season. He's going to be choosing here this coming Friday, January 27th, between the Hokies and Pittsburgh, is coming down to those final two. Garbut was originally committed to the Hokies last February of 2016, but then decommitted, wanted to reevaluate his options, but the Hokies once again look like they're right back in the mix, as Justin Fuente and his staff have done a great job thus far closing in on some of the top recruits in the state of Virginia.
Yeah, it's a big class too, Mike. As you mentioned, with 26 commits of 5 4-stars, according to 24/7, ranked just inside the top 20. And we know how competitive this division is at this point, with Virginia Tech emerging as the champion last year, but Miami gaining talent. It's just shocking that the Canes haven't won a division championship, but they're right on the heels. North Carolina, of course, right there as well. Pitt with a fine season last year, but loses a lot of offensive talent. Your thoughts about the Hokies in regards to what needs to be shored up based on graduation losses and where the team was a bit spotty last year?
Well, I think quarterback for sure. Not that they were spotty last year. Obviously, Gerard Evans was fantastic, but I think it took a lot of people by surprise when he decided to go ahead and move on to the NFL. So Hendon Hooker, like I mentioned, is a guy who, with redshirt freshman Josh Jackson, will be able to compete for the starting quarterback job. Virginia Tech is also bringing in A.J. Bush, a transfer quarterback from originally from Nebraska. Then he played a year of community college football. He's a guy that's not a great passer of the football, but he's a guy who's extremely athletic and can run the ball extremely well. If the Hokies decide to go in that direction and go with another junior college transfer, of course, that's not to say that Virginia Tech will have another Gerard Evans on their hands with this particular junior college transfer in A.J. Bush, but he's going to be a guy that's going to be able to provide some depth. The other guy, like I mentioned, Taiwan Garbut, if they're able to reel him in, that would be fantastic, just considering the defensive end attrition that they're facing this coming year. But I think the one position of strength for the Hokies, not only this coming season, but down the line, is linebacker. The Hokies are, of course, returning Tremaine Edmonds. They're returning Andrew Matua-Puaka at linebacker, as well as Anthony Shagog. all three of those guys will be juniors and seniors, so upperclassmen there. But they're also bringing in a strong linebacker class. Jalen Griffin at linebacker, a 3-star guy according to Rivals, and of course 24/7 as well. He's a guy who can step in and play right away, or at least provide depth right away, excuse me. Another guy to watch for is Nathan Proctor, and Proctor has a soft verbal at this point to Virginia Tech. He was an Under Armour All-American. He's listed as a 3-star by Rivals. He's the upper tier of the 3-star, but he's a 4-star almost everywhere else. A guy who made his name known his senior season there at his high school, and he's a guy that has a soft verbal to Tech right now. Pittsburgh is pursuing him hard, as well as Taiwan Guard, but like I mentioned earlier, if the Hokies are able to retain the services of Nathan Proctor, that would be huge for them moving forward. And then the Hokies just continue to reel in other linebackers as well in this class. And I think it's going to be a really, really strong position for them moving forward. 4-star linebacker Dylan Rivers. He was originally a Penn State commit. He flipped to the Hokies on January 22nd. He's a guy that, had been rumored to still have interest in Virginia Tech. The Hokies continued to pursue him hard even after he gave his verbal commit to Penn State last summer. But he was a guy that always seemed to kind of be in the mix there for the Hokies. Virginia Tech, of course, able to reel him in, and that coming on the heels of the Devin Hunter commitment made it a strong weekend for the Hokies here as we inch closer to National Signing Day.
All right, Mike McDaniel from Inside the ACC. If you love college football, if you love the ACC, all sports, you go to Inside the ACC. Check out Mike and the rest of the crew there, and I may pop up from time to time as well. Mike, we will see you soon. Appreciate it.
All right, I appreciate it, Mark. Thanks for having me on.